What's ransomware? I'm Robin Bennett from Alpha Legal, and welcome to our cybersecurity video. So I'm here today to explain to you what ransomware is. Now, the first thing I need to say is that if you're watching this video because you found it on the internet because you're suffering from ransomware, it's time to get professional help. By all means, watch the rest of this video, but quickly get professional help. If you're currently suffering from a ransomware attack, you can't fix it yourself. And the longer you wait to get help, the more difficulties you'll have to recover. So please, if you're watching this video because you're currently suffering a ransomware attack, get professional help, and best of luck, because ransomware is one of the internet's most evil hacking attacks. And I'll explain to you over the next 5-10 minutes exactly what ransomware is and the damage it causes and what you can do to protect yourself and what you do to recover if you've suffered from ransomware. So what is ransomware? Well, ransomware is a type of malware. Malware means bad software. Software that gets installed to your computer without you realizing, which causes you and your business a problem. Ransomware is probably the worst type of malware. And there's a horrible statistic that if a business's computers and servers get infected with ransomware and they don't have appropriate backups in place, more than half of businesses in that situation will fail completely. They'll fail to recover. They won't be able to get back up and running in the form that they were in before. So ransomware is incredibly serious. What is it and what does it do? Well, it gets onto your computers, gets onto your servers, normally because somebody has clicked a link in an email that they shouldn't have done, or they've gone to a website they shouldn't have done. And the bad software, the malware, gets onto the computer and encrypts all of the files on all of the computers it can access. I'll just say that again. It encrypts the information, and it uses a type of encryption which is sort of bank level standard. It's unbreakable encryption. And you'll know you've got it because when you try and open a file, for example, an invoice that you were generating for your client or a draft will that you were sending to your client for them to review, you'll get a message on screen that tells you that the file is encrypted and that the only way that you can get that information back is by paying a ransom to the hacker that's encrypted your files. The message is terrifying. It will scare you to death. It's a horrible thing to see on screen. And you'll be wondering what to do and whether this is actually a real attack. Unfortunately, it is a real attack. The amount of money that they want as ransom will vary hugely. If it's one PC that's affected in a relatively small business, they'll probably want a few £100 worth of ransom. In a big organisation, for example, there are rumours of Garmin, who make running equipment, you know, GPS type equipment, sat navs, that sort of thing, being infected a year or two ago. The ransom might be many millions of pounds or dollars. So it will vary depending on your ability to pay, and the hackers are very clever at working out what type of ransom to ask for. The ransom that they want, by the way, will be probably payable in Bitcoin, an internet cryptocurrency. That's because those types of transactions are essentially untraceable. So there's another complication there, that you'll need to get some Bitcoin if you decide to pay the ransom. But of course, that's not the thing to do. And it's not the thing to do for a couple of reasons. Firstly, we should not be supporting this industry of ransomware. And it is an industry, it's a multi-billion-dollar industry worldwide where people are held to ransom to get their files back. So we shouldn't be supporting that. This sort of industry supports criminal gangs worldwide for things like drug dealing and human trafficking. It's the sort of the way that these gangs are often funded. But secondly, you shouldn't pay because there's no guarantee they'll actually get your data back. Very often you'll pay the ransom, then they'll ask for a second ransom, or you'll pay the ransom, you'll get the unencryption or the decryption information, but in fact when you try it, it doesn't work. So there's no guarantee at all if you pay the ransom you'll actually get your files back anyway. So generally speaking, the only way you'll get your data back is by wiping your computer completely and restoring completely from a backup. If that's your server or indeed your laptop, that can be a horribly painful process. It's going to take you hours, days, possibly even weeks to recover the information. And during that time, your business will be severely limited. This, of course, gives you is the reason why you should always have backups of your data and test them regularly. If you watch our other channel, 6 Steps to Cyber Safety, our other video, on the channel, 6 Steps to Cyber Safety, you'll see what the importance of backups are and why you should always test them. And also that mentions in that video a lot about working now in the cloud rather than working on your laptop or your server, which gives you a certain element of protection against ransomware, because cloud services, generally speaking, aren't vulnerable to ransomware. So that's the recovery, is really to wipe your computer and get your backup restored. And you just hope and pray that whoever does your backups has been testing them regularly and has a good process for doing that and a documented process for doing that. Otherwise that restore process can be horribly slow and time consuming and not straightforward at all. Protecting yourself, well, how can you protect yourself against ransomware? Well, you can make sure you've got good antivirus software installed on your PC and that antivirus software is updated regularly and your subscriptions are valid. You should take very great care not to click links in emails that you weren't expecting or open attachments in emails that you weren't expecting. Don't visit websites that you shouldn't be visiting at work. Those websites often have ransomware downloads that are built into them. So just be very careful that you're only using legitimate websites on your office computers, your work computers. And those are the main ways of protecting yourself, that and of course plus having your backup strategy sorted. I'll just recap again what you should do if you've been the victim of ransomware. Number one, as I mentioned at the start of this video, get professional help quickly. Don't delay. The longer you delay, the more files are being encrypted and the harder it is to get your information back. Do tell the police. It's very important to tell the police about ransomware attacks because they're so costly and so disruptive. And only pay the ransom as the absolute last resort, because number one, you'll be supporting criminal activity by doing it, but secondly, there is no actual guarantee that you'll get your files back, even if you pay the ransom. So that's ransomware, an introduction to this most horrible of internet threats. I hope that's been useful. Do watch our other videos on the channel, in particular the 6 Steps to Cyber Safety. I've been Bennett from Alpha Legal and look forward to talking to you next time.